Good afternoon to machinist members and allies in the labor movement. This is the 141 Report, and I'm your host, Dave Lehive, a communications representative for District Lodge 141. Our report today brings us to Houston, Texas, as we get an inside look at IAMAW Local Lodge 811, as we speak with the President Leroy Taylor, who proudly serves this important union stronghold for workers' rights and protection. As always, before we start today's report, we continue to remind our viewers to please like our 141 Facebook social media page, follow our Twitter page, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Remember to visit our iam141.org website and sign up for our weekly emails and bulletins. You now can also listen to our interviews on our podcast channel on the Anchor Network. Our membership always has information and communications at their fingertips. Please participate in joining these online, web, and social media sites. So let's get started as our 141 report starts now. Brother Leroy, thanks for accepting the invite to join me on the 141 report and talk about yourself and your local.
Hey, Brother Dave, how you doing today?
It's great to see you, my friend.
Same here, man. Appreciate you for having me.
Glad to have you on. Can you tell our viewers about yourself, your history with the airlines you've worked for, and the positions you've held in the union?
Okay, first I've started off in 1986 with Continental. Actually, it was a job that I didn't plan on having. It just kind of happened to just drop in my lap. While I said that, I was actually working at another job for a hotel chain. And at the time, my fiance at the time, her father worked for Continental as a skycap. And I worked at a hotel. And so we was talking one night and he said, have you ever thought about working for the airlines? I said, not really. He said, well, you can fly free. And so that kind of, I said, fly free? He said, yes. And so ended up doing the interview, ended up getting the job in 1986. And I said to my fiance at the time, I said, well, you know what? I get the hotel and I can get the flights. All I have to do is pay for dinner. And we kind of we joked about that for a little while. But I got the job in 1986 as a part-timer with Continental Airlines at the time. Wasn't sure about what I wanted to do. Never been in the airline business, but it was interesting. So during the time, there was a full-time bid. And at that time, there were some openings. So I was indecisive about what I wanted to do because I already had a job full-time at the hotel. And so I thought about it and positions came open, a lead position came open. And so I decided to take the lead position, and that was in 1987. And I've been a lead ever since. And so it kind of worked out good for me. I lost being with the hotel, but I earned a career with Continental. And being with Continental, at one time, we actually merged, or however you want to say it, with United. And at the time, I was approached to be a shop steward because we was the Teamsters at first. I was approached to be a shop steward, and I took that on because I just wanted to know more and wanted to learn more about the union. Other positions I held was, like I said, the shop steward. I became a trustee. And now after my third term, I am the local lodge 811 president. So it's been quite a ride.
Wow, that's quite some bio you got there. So how important is it to you being a union member? And why did you fight for union rights when you and your brothers and sisters organized? And I believe it was back in 2008?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was very important because at the time, we didn't have any representation. Some good brothers of mine George Benil, Victor Hernandez, Reggie Robinson, and Gary Welch. They actually led the organizing with the Teamsters, because we became Teamsters first for a moment. And as we talked about it, we needed some representation because the company would do what they wanted to do, where they wanted to do it, and how they wanted to do it. And we didn't have a say so. So the idea of having a union, having someone speak for you, was right up my alley. So those four gentlemen, they organized and we got it going. And then we ended up having to vote, the IAM and the Teamsters, and we ended up voting for the IAM. And that's the history. And that's how we started on this great road trip.
So let's talk about Local Lodge 811. You know, it's a very large local, I know that. And, you know, the 811 signified what the date of the election that took place.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
is that correct?
That's exactly right.
How big is Local 811?
Right now, we have a total of members of 2,400 members right now. We've lost a lot, retired because of the coronavirus. We lost a lot of good members, but we're climbing back up. But right now, we have a total of 2,400 members, Dave.
Okay. And what airlines are in your local? And I got a question to ask you. Does American Fleet Service, are they now in your local?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. American is now there. We also have, I believe, Birmingham, Lafayette, Midland, SM Cargo, New Orleans. But New Orleans is actually above the wing. So we have Shreveport.
Oh, okay.
Shreveport. Yeah, but it's still in New Orleans, so we have Shreveport.
I just was talking to the 141 Director of Safety on American, and he was telling me that New Orleans is going to become a active fleet service city as well. And I was wondering if New Orleans will fall under your umbrella as well for American members. So hopefully you'll pick up those guys as well.
We would love it, man. We would love it. The more the merrier.
Yeah,
the more the better.
Yeah. There's strength in numbers, right?
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
So I got to ask you, where's your local located for our viewers? Tell us a little bit about your building and how you operate.
Okay, our local is actually about a mile away from the airport, 15355 West Vantage Parkway West. Like I said, it's about a mile from the airport, so it's a real good location. Members come out the parking lot. You at the local in about 5 minutes, so it's a good area, good location.
Okay.
We've been there since I think maybe 2012, 13. It's been a while, but we had to move upstairs. We had a big flood here. And so we ended up moving our local upstairs to a much larger area.
Okay.
And so we have our meetings every first Wednesday of each month. Okay. We have a good group of membership. We have always had a quorum. It's been a long time since we have not had a quorum. And so the members are excited about coming to the meetings. We feed them after the meeting. So I think that's one thing that draws them, because they eat. We feed them. We fill them up.
Hey, you guys actually have a unique situation where you guys share your local space with another local, correct?
That's correct. We share with 2198. They're our sister lodge, and they needed a place at one time, and so we got together and we decided that we just go with each other, support each other, help each other. So we don't have any conflicts. Everything's been good so far. We have our meetings on the first Wednesday. They have theirs on the Thursday. Yep. So it's been good for both of us.
It keeps expenses down, right?
Oh, most definitely.
So there you can put money in towards, committee training and conferences, and getting members, the information that they need. So that's great. Were you able to work that out financially? That's terrific.
Yes, sir. It's a big help. And like I say, it works out for both of us. So
right. We
both enjoyed, and great location. And like I say, for his money, we save a lot of money.
That's good. So let's talk about your e-board. I know you got a bunch of talented people on there, but our viewers don't know who they are. So I'd like to have you kind of talk about them. So why don't you go down the list and give us a rundown?
Okay, first we have our Vice President, Nelson Yanez. This is his first term as being Vice President. Nelson's been around. He's been conductor senator at one time. He's very active with the group. He's even on the women's committee. So he just stays real active. So he's nothing wrong with it at all. So he's real good in what he does, and he's learning, and we're still all learning, but he's real good and wants to know more and wants to learn. So we're doing the best we can with each other. And then we have Brother Roderick Lightfoot. He's our recording secretary. Roderick has been around a long time. He's been the recording secretary for this is maybe fourth or fifth term. He keeps the ball rolling. He keeps the notes up well. Everything he does is right on time. So he doesn't miss a beat for us taking notes and doing things that he has to do for us running the elections and just being there. So he's been very helpful to the local. Then we have our Secretary Treasurer, Sarah Mandaroy Garcia. Sarah keeps us on our toes. Make sure that I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. And so anytime members want to know anything about the funds, she has a green light, come see me, whatever you need to know. The books are always open. I can go over with you. And so it's very good education. She educates our members very well. Then we have our trustees. We have Brian Lassane. This is Brian's first year as a trustee. He's also our legislator, head of the legislative committee. Brian is very active, real good. I mean, like I said, we have a talented group that's always wants to know and learn and do things right. Then we have Sister Adrena Coleman. Adrena was the trustee at one time. I'm sorry, she was the auditor, and now she became our trustee. She's very active. She's into everything. When I say everything, I mean for us helping out wherever she can help out, the women's committee, whatever she needs to do, she's there for us, and she doesn't mind helping. Then we have DeJesus. He was the auditor at one time. Now he's our trustee. Good brother. He's there. Always a lot of questions. Want to know, make sure things are done right. And that's the type of people we need on our trustee board. So I have a good group. And then last but not least, we have our conductor senator, Louis Quintanilla. Louis has been around a while. I believe he's from Newark area, but he's been with us for a while. Louis is one of the best person that you ever know, the nicest person you ever know. But when it's time to take care of business, Louis take care of business. And so I couldn't do better without him. So he's been real good and very helpful to us.
So, you're very fortunate. Local Lodge 811 has an AGC from District Lodge 141. And I want you to talk about who that person is and your relationship that you have. And also, you just recently got a vice president at large as well.
Oh, yes.
And I want you to talk about that individual. Okay. When you need district help, these are the guys that you lean on, right? So why don't you talk about those two gentlemen?
Okay, we have everything we need. Our AGC is Victor Hernandez. Victor is one of the persons that anytime you need him for anything, he's there. It doesn't matter what time you call Victor. It doesn't matter what he's doing. He's always there for us. And a lot of times we depend on Victor because of the education that he has and that he gives us, the knowledge that he has. He's been around. Victor and I are very good friends. We've been friends for a long time. Friends get into it sometimes. We get into it, then we kiss and make up sometimes. But that's a part of it. So Victor is very. At one time he was the chairman, grievance chairman. Then he got elevated to the AGC, and it's been a great ride with Victor. Like I say before, it's giving us what we need, education, everything. And then we have my good friend Gary Welch. He's the chairman right now, but he's the District 141 vice president at large. So Gary and I go a long way back. I've been knowing Gary for a moment. Gary is another person that whenever you need him, he's there for us. I can call Gary anytime. The relationship that we all have is just like a family because we're around each other. Whatever we need from each other, they're there. They never turn me down if I ask or need something. And it's just, I wouldn't say another local, but it's no local like the local that we have with the guys that we have in position that can make things happen. Get on a phone call. We need a question answered. They're there for us. So those two guys, it's a blessing to have those two on my team.
Okay, and finally, who's your Grand Lodge rep assigned to Houston?
We had, Sandy Gardner used to be. She retired. She called me and she retired. And so now we have Jeffrey Tobias.
Jeff, yeah, I know him well.
Yeah. I met Jeff once this year, and because of the corona, they're not doing that much traveling. But Jeff seems like he's, when he introduced himself to me over the phone, he said, "Anything you need, brother, give me a call." I was fortunate enough to meet him came to one of our meetings, maybe a month or 2 months ago, and seems like a good brother. I'm want to get to know him a little better, but he's there and he's there for us. So I think he's going to be okay.
Okay, that's terrific. So let's move on to committees.
Okay.
Who are some of the committee people that you work with at your local? I know you got various committees, several different, other than grievance, but many others. So why don't you tell me about them?
Okay, well, this is talk about the grievance. Like I say, we have Gary Wutchers, the head chairman. We have Carlos Alaya, he's the secretary, and then we have Bruno Pereira. And those guys, I'll tell you, those guys do an awesome job. I mean, you know, they always keeping the members on their toes. Whenever information come, they do breaking news. I mean, these guys. Only thing about it, they come on at 9 o'clock at night sometime, and unfortunately, I'm asleep, so I have to get it the next day. But those guys are awesome. They work together as a team. Awesome. We have our human rights committee. I remember David Toe used to be the head of used to be the head of our human rights. He retired, and now we have a group that just came together and they're keeping it going. We have community service, which Roger Lightfoot heads. We have the EAP. We have so many committees that's coming together now.
Legislative too, right? You mentioned legislative. You mentioned legislative as well.
Legislative with Brian.
Right,
yes.
right.
Brian and Anthony Contreras.
Okay.
Legislative. Now we begin to get our retiree committee going, and that will be led by Greg Hall. So Greg Hall will lead that up. And like I said, with this corona, everything going, so it kind of put everything on a hold, but now we back up and running. So we strong. 8-11, we running back up and running.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
So I got to ask you some heart-to-heart questions now. So what's the most important thing you value yourself as being a union member, and how has the Machinist Union changed your life?
I would say the benefits. And when I say the benefits, mean that we now have representation when we didn't have representation. We have a say-so, we have a voice. Collective bargaining, we can go to the table and be strong. Everything that I thought the union was, it is. And I wouldn't change it for the world. So the IAM was the best, to me, the best decision we made as far as bringing them on board, because even when the company tried to, with the coronavirus, they tried to downplay the full-timers and cut the hours. And I was very impressed with the IAM, how they went to the plate. They say, no, you're going to honor this contract. And I couldn't be more prouder than our IAM brothers and sisters in the leadership of IAM. So I give them all the glory.
That's great.
Yes, sir.
So the IAM is always ready to organize new members. What would you say to the non-union workers at JetBlue or Delta after your experience being a non-union and being now with the IAM?
I would say you need a voice. It's as simple as that. You need a voice. You need someone that's going to talk up for you when you can't talk up for yourself. You need someone that's going to be there when your back is against the wall and you don't know what to go to or who to turn to. You need somebody to be in that position that say, I got you, brother. I got you, sister. Let's make this happen. So the voice is just having a voice, having a say so. That's why I would tell my brothers and sisters from JetBlue, you need a voice. You need some representation. So the company just won't do what they want to do. And you have a say so.
That's great. Have you done work on the organizing campaign?
I have not. That's in my future. I have not. Busy being president, and actually I'm a safety advocate also. So I stay pretty busy.
Okay.
And so wear a lot of hats. So but that is something that I plan on in the near future. That's getting involved.
Okay. So Brother Leroy, any closing thoughts or anything you want to make mention of before we finish out this report?
Yes, to my brothers and sisters, with this coronavirus that's happening right now, look like we're getting better, but it could be much better. And so I would encourage everyone to get the shot. When the Johnson & Johnson first came out, I was able to get my shot, and it makes a difference because we want to get to a place where we were before. And I think if everybody that just think about it, I know it's a hard decision for some of us, but if everybody get together and do what we have to do, I think we can see our airline, because we're growing again. We want to be able to be free and talk to our brothers and sisters and shake hands and do everything we want. So I encourage everybody to get the shot if it's available for you. And I think now that the companies has made it available for everyone. So as the president of 811, I'm encouraging all our brothers and sisters, get the shot. let's get back to being where we need to be.
That's great advice, brother. You know, yesterday I got my second shot. So I'm done. By the middle of May, I'll be, immune to the COVID-19 variant. And I'm pretty happy about that. So
that's good. That's good.
That's a great comment you just made. So this wraps up another 141 report. As you've heard, our union is in good hands in Texas, as this local and its dedicated union leaders and members are working hard for all Texans. I want to thank you, Brother Leroy, for your update and for coming on today's program.
Thank you Brother Dave, for having me. I appreciate it. I followed you all over, man. You're doing a great job. We couldn't be more proud of you. I'm always watching the 141 report with Dave Lehigh. And so, brother, you're doing a good job and continue the good work.
Thank you, my friend. We have a reminder to all our 141 members that our 141 scholarship program is accepting essays for a chance to win some needed college education money. For information, please visit IAM141.org for details. We also want to remind our viewers about some legislative action. Please contact your senators and urge them to support the PRO Act. You can call them at 866-832-1560 and tell your senators to stand up for workers' rights and give workers the right to organize without company interference or intimidation. I want to thank the viewers for watching this week. Please stay safe, get vaccinated, and have a great weekend. Bye for now.